Hey guys, it's your boy, editor Eric here. It looks like that thing happened again where a big life-changing political event happened after we recorded an episode. Man, the United States really can't slow down, can they? We won't be talking about the Minneapolis shooting in this episode. You know, this one is focused more on Venezuela, but we will be talking all about that on the next episode. Don't you worry.
In the wild western wastelands of the Great White North, two gay lefty scumbags embark on an endless pursuit for the true meaning of wokeness. This is Woke in the West.
Oh, here we are.
Back in the saddle.
What did we tell ya?
New year.
We knew it. We knew it was coming.
New year. New distractions, baby.
Yeah, definitely. We were like maybe a week or so off with when it would actually happen. But,
yeah, it wasn't a Christmas present, though. I think there was a quote that I read on Twitter somewhere that someone said Trump was saying, I wanted to do it as a Christmas present, but he didn't. He withheld.
We got it as a New Year's present instead. A Venezuelan invasion for Christmas. Only a Venezuelan one will do. No Mexico, no Argentina. I only want Venezuela. I've been sitting on that for a while.
That's pretty good.
Just to give to you as my New Year's present.
Aw, I didn't bring a New Year's present for the show, except the fact that I can turn around and say, I told you so!
Yeah.
I told her so. I told her so.
We knew it.
And I really hope that everyone who listens to this show feels a little bit smarter.
Yeah. Vindicated.
We are correct.
Yeah.
So, let's see what else we end up being correct about. Yeah. I was just going to say, did you have a good holidays? You do anything interesting? You know, that's what you're supposed to do when you're on a show after the holidays, right?
I mean,
even though we're like, we did everything together.
I smoked a bunch of weed and played a bunch of video games.
Yay!
Not much to tell, really.
Yeah.
Just needed some time to relax. You know, because it was quite the year for everyone, I think.
Too much.
And
this year decided to start with a doozy anyway, so you know we don't get a break anymore. No, we're woke in the West.
Full throttle. You know?
We're woke because we're not allowed to sleep, so we're forced to be woke.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get to that. Let's start off with a little bit of hopium.
Whoa, hopium
from our own backyard. We got the Order of Canada has 80 new appointments, including
Olympians, journalists, indigenous leaders, and doctors. You'll probably know some of these names.
Including the great rock journalist Nardwuar.
The human serviette.
Who I actually, I'm ashamed to admit, didn't know about Nardwuar until very recently, and didn't realize he interviewed so many prominent figures, not just in music, but in Canadian politics as well.
Honestly, I kind of have to agree with you there. I feel like even as someone who has been watching like Billboard charts and has been clued into like what's pop music in terms of like, you know, the songs that are big on the radio and numbers and just stuff like that, I did not know who Nardwuar was pre-COVID pandemic either.
Yeah, and he's been there the whole time since like the 70s.
Yeah.
Like I didn't chronicling all of this stuff.
He really had a huge come up in the digital age, so good for him.
Still doing what he loves. Look at that. That's what I strive to be in my old age.
Yeah. Olympic sprinter Andre DeGrasse also got appointed.
Yeah, we'll go through the list here a little bit. So this is from CBC from New Year's Eve, December 31st. Yeah,
is there a list?
Yeah, is there a list anywhere?
Release the Order of Canada list.
Yeah, release the list. Where's the list?
They're just gonna like tease us with a like handful of names.
No solid list. Are you kidding me? We have to read this fucking
comments.
article.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Supreme Court Justice Michael Muldaver.
Yeah.
So
wow! Yay! Good for
Unexpected
him.
Honor and privilege.
Wow,
he said.
cool.
Wow. I bet he was. Thoracic surgeon Shaf Khashoggi has also been promoted. Khashoggi?
Canadian wine pioneer Donald Triggs. Cool.
Known for one of Canada's most successful wine brands, creatively named Jackson-Triggs.
I'm sorry, but if you can't like list these in bullet form,
then these are not famous people.
This is not good journalism. Come on, bro.
And these are not people that most Canadians know. So it's like, this is how, like, I hate to say this as someone who would like to potentially say that with my art, it would be cool to aspire to something like this one day. But it just kind of goes to show how worthless something like the Order of Canada is in the grand scheme of like respectable awards. It's sad, really, because it is the nation's highest like civilian artist honor or whatever. But you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Why aren't they not like proudly listing everyone?
Yeah. Well, it's all just fluff because they want you to actually read the article. You see, that's the.
But there is no list.
But whatever. I'm just most excited for Nardwuar. Good on you, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
good for Nardwuar.
You deserve it. Also, congratulations to these other people.
It's
as well.
incredible that there's no musician even in this list.
Yeah,
like they
right?
couldn't find one musician.
He's the closest one.
Like the other people in the headline for this is like a journalist on the CBC article that we're looking at anyway. It's like there's no one that famous on here. It's like Nardwuar and Andre DeGrasse, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, and 2 other people.
And 80 more. 80 more people. Someone who made wine.
How could there be 80 people and you don't have a list in your fucking article?
Yeah, it's disappointing. CBC, whatever.
Be better.
Yeah, be better. Do better. 2026. I didn't make a resolution.
Yeah.
No. Not in this economy.
Yes, this was a really big story.
Yes. The reason that this is being included for our non-YouTube audience, because of course we're reacting to a visual image right now, is that you might recall in the week before Christmas, there was a highly publicized CBS special with the 60 Minutes show on the Seacot prison in El Salvador. And Barry Weiss, right as the show was about to air, basically said, nah, please don't. And
Scrub
pulled it.
that shit. Get it out of here. So they aired the 60 Minutes without that segment, right?
Yeah.
Except...
Yes, except. And what we have on screen is a tweet from @Brian Stelter.
He was from like CNN or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, this is real. Yes, it's astonishing. Global TV, which airs 60 Minutes in Canada, uploaded the original version of Sunday's episode, including the Sharon Alfonsi segment that Barry Weiss shelved. And now people all across the internet are watching the segment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so all hell broke loose. The segment was posted on archive.org like immediately as well. And
Is it
CBS
still up
has
there?
been,
I don't know.
I don't know. CBS has been trying really hard to get it all like scrubbed and taken down, but it's too late. Like Barry Weiss really screwed the pooch here. And the fact that she already had no resume, got this high position job, and has had now like 2 fuck ups publicly. This and the terrible ratings that the Erica Kirk crap had on a Saturday, on a prime Saturday. Abysmal. And like to the point that they were running the Chia Pet ad.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows.
Because there were no brands that wanted to like pay to
Really?
run to
Like
be
that
on it.
30-plus-year-old commercial?
Yes, they were
The same
playing
one?
legacy ads.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did they do
because-
the clapper as well?
I don't know. There was a list somewhere in an article. Maybe you can
Yeah.
find it in post. But I read it and I was like, this is incredible. So, fuck Barry Weiss. She's a Zionist
Yeah.
pig.
Stupid
and
bitch. So
Global TV.
did Global TV air this with the segment on like cable TV, or was it
So
just
I don't
online?
know the full 100% details of this. I don't know where we would find them now. Maybe there's an article somewhere. But I do know that one version of events I've heard is that Global TV posted the 60-minute segment unedited onto their app.
They're streaming it. Yeah, I know
And
that.
that
on
was
their
what
streaming
broke
app.
first.
Yeah.
I don't know which version aired, like specifically aired, but I know that the version that was supposed to be cut was what was put in the app. So I don't know what aired, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I didn't manage to catch it live.
But yes, millions have seen it. I saw it while sitting in a Burger King.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. And the fact
is
that
really-
they tried to bury it is really
It's
telling.
eye-opening. I watched a couple YouTube videos about Seacot from like, there's a Turkish YouTuber guy that I watch sometimes.
What's his name?
I forget his name, but he did a
Oh.
Seacot video. Yeah. And
I'll put some footage of it here.
This mega prison has a capacity of 40,000. Prisoners here are the most unsafe people you can even imagine. How many people's lives have you ended? Is it 5 or 10? How many?
More than 50.
and it's brutal. And that one really, like, there were moments in it where he's like, the lights never turn off. And I was like, what?
The modules are kept lit all day and night for monitoring. When the sun goes down, the lights stay on all the time.
And he's just showing the cells like, yeah, and there's no mattresses. You sleep on the like metal or concrete. Like,
Packed cell. A little news out of Québécois. Voulez-vous? Quebec government reintroduces former polite... I was way too refined in my French. It's got to be more.
Hillbilly.
Quebec government reintroduces formal politeness in école.
This story is from today.
By Stéphane Riroux. Yes, from today.
This morning.
Yes.
In the English language, people address each other using you. It's trickier in French. People use informal tu when speaking to family and friends and the formal vous for everyone else. When in doubt, quote, you're probably better off using vous. French teacher Francois Limoges told CTV News last year. This is an article with CTV that I'm reading from, by the way. Yeah. At the time, Quebec's former education minister, Bernard Drainville, I don't know how to say that in French, Drainville, had issued a notice.
It's probably just Drainville.
It's back to vous, back to madame, back to monsieur. So there are rules coming in place now here in Quebec, or that they're talking about in Quebec. Not here. I don't live in Quebec. Thank God for that. But they're bringing in mandatory
formalities.
Formalities
Yes.
for introducing the person, Mr. and Mrs., Madame, Monsieur, all that stuff.
It's a show of respect for the status and for the function, said Drainville. I don't really know about this because, like, when I was going to school, which I only graduated a couple years before you did, it was always Mr. and Mrs. We always addressed our teachers this way.
Yeah, that was how I was introduced to my teachers. Was with Mr. and Mrs. No, there was no like silly kid name for the teachers.
It was never on a first name basis.
No,
you know, that was a while ago now, unfortunately. So I don't know. Maybe things have changed. Maybe they become a bit more, a bit more of a friendly rapport with the students.
I don't know if I
don't know. I don't want to go too
like
far with that
wall being broken down. A teacher should maintain a
relative position of authority,
relationship distance from a student.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like a parent. You don't want to be too chummy with your kid. You don't want to be their friend necessarily.
Yeah, a teacher should definitely be less chummy than a parent.
Yeah,
and should not be the same level as a parent.
No, definitely not. No.
It says the reasoning was that more respect would lead to a better atmosphere in the classrooms. I mean,
was it becoming a bit too lax? Probably kids just chilling and not learning anything.
Teachers aren't sure voyeur will change anything. Quote, if we don't have enough adults in the room, we won't be able to change behaviors, says Bergevin, reminding that government cuts are leaving schools understaffed and struggling to provide specialized services.
True.
Others say the choice should be left to teachers, not the government. Quote, I always say leave it up to the teachers. The teachers know best. Any teacher has a different way of teaching, a way of developing relationships with their students, said Yetman. Learning the difference between tu and vous, they argue, is the best way to avoid future faux pas.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good idea to address teachers as Mr. and Mrs.
I think it's funny that the government had to step in, but it's Quebec, and that's the place that I'm the least surprised that the government stepped in to enforce French rules.
They do that a lot.
Yeah. There you go. There's your daily dose of Quebec language news. We were talking to a friend who very thankfully gave us a ride to a New Year's party about this exact thing. It's interesting just how many Canadians are like aware of the bullshit language stuff in Quebec.
Yeah, they sure do love their French over there.
From one former separatist province to another wannabe separatist province, proposed referendum question on separation from Canada approved by Elections Alberta.
People are going to actually vote on this shit now.
Alberta Prosperity Project, blah, 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 blah. Proposed Prosperity Project, blah, 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 blah. Do you see why my brain is being just like fried by all these?
Picked a pick of pepper.
Yeah.
Blah.
I proposed a pickle picking party for prosperity purposes project. Has 4 months.
Prosperity Project.
Yeah, well, these guys apparently now have 4 months to collect nearly 178,000 signatures.
Oh, so they need to like knock on people's doors.
So
and get
now
people
their
to
question was approved in the wording that they presented it.
So now they can present it to people, and it's like, do you want to separate? Yes or no?
Put your name on
vote
this,
on it. Yes,
so that if we get enough signatures, we can put it on the ballot provincially. Yeah. Yep, the work's not over yet, but the work is now even dumber. So let's see what the official wording of the question is.
CBC. So this is from CBC from December 22nd, so it's a little old.
So the question
the group will ask.
The group
question? The group question?
The questionable group?
Here we go.
The question the group will ask is, do you agree that the province of Alberta should cease to be a part of Canada to become an independent state?
Well, you know that the U.S. is just going to gobble it
Oh
up.
God, yeah, this is going to
Immediately.
trigger their war machine.
This
but,
is probably
like,
all just part of the plan, honestly.
yeah, it is part of the plan, but the question is, will they get 178,000 Albertans to be like, yes, we would love to be American at a time like this?
And the real question is, if they vote no and that question doesn't show up on the ballot, what measures will the United States take? Potentially.
Well, if the group fails to get the signatures, then they can cry about it all they want, but they're just not going to get it.
Yeah.
So, like, the Americans can be like, you denied them the right, and it's undemocratic.
Undemocratic.
But
restricting democracy.
But people didn't even
We
want
got to
it on the
invade you and
ballot.
bring democracy.
Yeah.
To
We
this
have to liberate your oil.
to this
Honestly, I
constitutional
think
monarchy.
America really wants to invade Alberta, honestly.
Yeah,
If they're going to invade any part of Canada, and we were talking with, fans and family about that issue, that potential now, we're talking right now because of the Alberta question, but the looming specter is obviously the, American invasion of Venezuela. We will get there.
Yeah, we're
and
getting there.
Maybe we should have led the show with something about that because we know that's the big news. But we're, Canada first.
Yeah.
So, sit down and laugh
Hear
at
what's
Alberta
happening
with us.
Hear what's happening in our country, damn it.
Yeah.
It's
so
important.
I don't have anything else to add about Alberta without
No.
going off about American interests.
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll see what comes of this. We'll see if
I just
people are
don't
dumb enough.
believe that they will even be able to get 178,000. If I need to put it as bluntly as that, I just don't believe it. I do not believe there are that many people in Alberta who genuinely live in Alberta when we already know that there have been like candidate signature fraud issues with other parties or candidates in other parts of the country. I don't believe that they will be able to do this and have every name check out. I don't believe it. So that's my thoughts.
We shall see. Tune in for more info.
At Sharif Haji, MLA, who I believe he's the MLA for Edmonton. We're still in Alberta with this story. Frostbite amputations in Edmonton have skyrocketed over 500% since the UCP took office. Over half were performed on people experiencing homelessness. We need a provincial government that works with municipalities to invest in social and supportive housing. And then he posted an article from CBC.
Oh, good fucking luck in Alberta. The state that's about to... the province that's
smack
about to...
dab in the winter right now.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't feel like it here. Like, we're recording
No.
obviously in early January, but like it was like 7 degrees out still today. Like, we're not really in double digits, but we're kind of starting to get in that area again. So we've had mostly warm stretches. We've barely had any cold snaps this winter. I expect something bad in February, but it hasn't happened yet.
No, keeps getting...
Look at that
pushed
ad
back
on the
every
right
year.
side for our YouTube audience from the government of Canada. We're getting an ad.
Cisgender.
Cisgender. It's okay if you don't know. Being an ally means learning as you go. Learn more.
Wow. Cool. Thanks, Canada.
Wow, the government wants you to know
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty woke.
I get confused sometimes. People are like, bisexual is like, oh yeah, that means everyone. Like, but then they're like, pansexual means everyone. So like, I get confused about that sometimes. Some people.
Well,
snap.
bisexual is a bit of like an older term.
Yeah, I know that's what I mean. So I think like straights like that term more because it's like boys and girls, and so then they can be exclusionary towards trans and non-binary people or agender people or whoever the fuck they just don't want to be around. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but then they're like, no, actual bisexual means everything. I like that you said it's an older term though, so I guess that means I've only really heard it in like straight.
Yeah. It's a very like older binary term that
definitely very
doesn't
binary.
take into account the advances in gender science and stuff. So
Yes. Yeah. I guess I'll have to Google a specific meaning. Oh, the government ad changed.
it did. Oh wow. Now it's pansexual.
It's just giving us these words without actual definitions. It's just like, it's okay if you don't know.
Do the research, nerd.
Yeah. Look it up.
Look it up.
So yeah, this
Want
is
me
an
to hold your
article-
hand, straight white man.
There's an article here from CBC about amputations in
Yeah, the homeless
Edmonton relating
people.
to frostbite from
Yeah.
December 15th.
It gets pretty damn cold in Alberta. So many of our patients were coming in saying, yeah, I was in shelter last night and they left in the morning and then they got frostbite. Our numbers were probably actually higher than previous years, said McLean. McLean is leading us. Who's this McLean guy?
Scott McLean, an emergency physician at the Royal Alexandra Hospital in Edmonton, said there are multiple factors at play.
Good luck, homeless people of Edmonton. I highly doubt the city.
Where's the housing?
Or the government at large is going to do anything to help you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, where's the freaking housing, Carney? Come on. Let's go. Let's get some jobs going. Let's get some Canadian lumber, maybe. Let's build it responsibly. There's so much space. I've been in Alberta. I don't know if any of our listeners here are from Alberta, but I've been to Alberta. I've even been kind of to the middle of nowhere, Alberta, and there's just like so much space out there. Like, come on. Like,
it can be done. Again,
why are people dying on concrete?
We've run the numbers. We know what it takes. Let's do it.
Canada strongly condemns Israel's decision to approve 19 new settlements in the West Bank. This continued settlement expansion, illegal under international law, puts at risk the 20 points peace plan and undermines prospects for a two-state solution. Okay, done. That's the statement. I hope you guys liked it. It was like 2 sentences.
Yeah.
2 sentences and 2 commas.
Yay. That was bad, guys. Don't do that
That was
again.
so pathetic, man. We're going to get into the patheticness and spinelessness of the statements coming out of this fucking government very soon. I left a reply on this post.
You sure did. Sanctions or shut the fuck up, which I agree.
Yeah, it's so pathetic, man. I'm screaming over here. Like, guys, can you stop killing?
Do something!
Can you stop killing children, shooting them in the head? We're gonna keep giving you money, but could you stop? You're not? Okay. Here's your money. No, enough. I'm so tired. Please. Like, anyway, move on.
And as if that wasn't enough. So this is happened a little bit before that statement. This is a situation that happened on December 16th. Where several members of a Canadian delegation were refused entry into the West Bank while attempting to cross at the border. Joined by NCCM staff included 6 Canadian members of Parliament alongside civil society and community leaders with the goal of observing conditions on the ground and engaging directly with Palestinian and international stakeholders. The Canadian Muslim Vote was the name of the group. And they were just denied entry. Just, you can't come in.
Yep, and the government did not support the people at all on this. Everything, again, goes into the spinelessness column lately. It's sad.
Yeah. This is for Canadians for Justice and Peace in the Middle East. Israel is an illegally occupying power, does not have the right to deny Canadian MPs access to the West Bank. This is a major violation of international law and Canada-Palestine diplomacy. Sanction Israel and expel the ambassador.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Can we
exactly.
do anything? This is a quote tweet of Anita Anand, who is an MP, who, is just saying, like, it's shameful. It's so shameful.
Yeah, so bad, guys. We're not going to do anything about it. But
Today, a
it's bad.
private delegation of Canadians, which included members of Parliament, was denied entry to the West Bank at an Israeli border crossing. Global Affairs is in contact with the delegation, and we have expressed Canada's objections regarding the mistreatment of these Canadians while attempting to cross. That's so weak, though.
Yeah, milquetoast. Gross.
Yeah, weak. Thanks, Anita.
And so the slaughter goes on with only mild pushback, the mildest of pushback.
I've seen, again, if we're still in the Canada section.
Yeah.
So I need to just hold back on all this stuff, but like the Netanyahu hate. I've seen like memes in the last few days since the Venezuela shit where people are like, oh, it's a meme of like, Maduro being arrested, but then they're like, what the world actually wants. And then they put a picture of Netanyahu there. And it's like, but then America would never do it. Like, America wouldn't do that.
No, they would never.
So what are
never
you
do
even
that to
talking
Netanyahu.
about? Like, if you want to see that, then you need to do stuff to help that happen.
Yeah.
Because America's not going to do that.
No way.
And speaking of not believing in America anymore, actually, wow, I guess, I wasn't sure that would what I was going to talk about was going to relate, but here
It
you
all
go.
relates.
Health minister says U.S. health institutions no longer trustworthy partners. This is a Global News article.
December 27th.
Yes. Canada is used to looking to the United States as a source of health and scientific information, but the federal health minister says that is no longer the case. Quote, I cannot trust them as a reliable partner. No,
Oh, man.
said Health Minister Marjorie Michel in a year-end interview.
Michelle added that the U.S. can be reliable on some stuff, but pointed to vaccines as an area in which Canada must go its own way. Oh, we got problems with vaccines up here too. Make no mistake.
Yeah, it's
Thanks
nice
to American influence mostly.
She's pointed it out, but yeah, the biggest concerns are the vaccines. Really, is that the public skepticism and misinformation is going way up, and that's not good. And so she's like, we need to break with the U.S. because they're speaking badly about vaccines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they're going through all lengths possible to get rid of the CDC and not even report on basic illnesses anymore either. So that certainly doesn't help. But yeah, good decision. But I'm just sad. I'm shocked that we even have to go here. You know.
Well, I want to see something else I can say about a health minister like being skeptical about America's place in the world now in regards to public health. How about we get some funding for some public institutions so we get more doctors in this country? How about we get more free education so that we can be competitive on the world stage? You know, you can talk about recruitment from other places in the world all you want, but what about like actually cultivating the talent here? You could be doing the work right now. You could snap your fingers and make, well, not the health minister, but like, you know, the prime minister, who is the one who's supposed to be riding the ship, could snap his fingers right now, basically, and like make public education free, make university and post-secondary free, you know, and that would certainly help.
We'll have to go through approval, obviously.
Yeah. And we can, if we
All
can
the
find
red
it in
tape.
You know, I hate to be one of those people, but if we can find it in the budget to like keep giving money to Ukraine, I think we could put $1 billion into public education.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 billion.
They've run the numbers. They know how much is needed to solve all these problems.
Exactly.
They just
We
won't
know
do
what the
it.
numbers are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at what point are these institutions deliberately just set up to like keep you from, you know, advancing in your life?
Exactly. This is pretty funny.
Yes, a great post here from Oricron on Twitter. Canada has given up on its, quote, victims of communism monument after hundreds of names were shown to be affiliated with Nazi or fascist groups.
Wah, wah. Commies are really good at killing Nazis, apparently.
Yeah, so this was basically the whole rub with the victims of communism society and like agenda in building this monument was that, oops, all Nazis, because if you think about it for more than 2 freaking seconds, who are the victims of communism if you really think about it? In the way that like who would mobilize to build something like that? It would be like people who lost people to the Soviets, which would largely be
the fall of Berlin.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So not great. And it's amazing that the government was like duped into this, but it's the same way that the government many years ago had egg on its face for bringing a literal like Ukrainian Nazi into parliament.
I remember
so
that.
they're just really dumb.
Yeah,
and
they don't do their homework.
They fall for the public spectacle every time. It's really, really, really easy to get the government of Canada with their pants down.
Mm-hmm.
And this embarrassing monument, which our YouTube viewers can see, is just like got big black X's. It's like a real life censor.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. There were no victims of communism.
Nope.
That means communism has always been good.
Yeah, never bad.
It's like that Norm Macdonald post, right? Like, wow, it's great that this history book and everyone in it is the good guy, won every time. That's great.
Woo!
I love that.
It's great.
Don't think about it.
So this is like semi-breaking news.
This was breaking news.
Right as we were setting up to record this episode, this was
Yes,
breaking.
this is the breaking Canadian news. We're still in the Canada First section because we care about you, Canadians, that are listening to this. If you're not Canadians, we care about you too, but like a little bit marginally less, if that is okay. You know, the love is still infinite, but you know, if
we care about you more than Americans care about you. That's for sure.
That's exactly right. And if you're an American listening to this,
fuck you.
Do better, rise up. Honestly, I had a really brutal conversation. I told you.
Oh no.
Should I share that? You know, with that the musician I was talking to, the trans musician.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I have like a trans musician friend that I met one time, I think, in public, in person. But they're always in my DMs and we're always talking about stuff. And they're like, I really want to get out of the US. I'm applying for jobs to get a visa anywhere. And I'm like, okay, but you should stay and fight.
Stay and fight.
And they're like, but I don't want to die. And I'm like, we're all going to die. And like, if you, who I know is a smart, capable person, leave, you're just flaunting your privilege and ability to do so to the people who are not going to have that ability when the time comes.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is essentially taking the whole like, why don't you just move if you don't like it argument, and you're doing it on behalf of the people moving, is what you're doing. Is like you're making that like, you're living that out.
Maybe I should move.
And you
It'll be
did, and
safer.
you made it. Good job. And now everyone you knew is dead. So it's like, maybe you should do something. And it's like, the revolution will not be televised, is a thing that they often say, but the revolution won't happen, period, if there aren't people to plan it and people willing to die for it, potentially. And like, that's a scary thought. But clearly the government is already willing to put you in harm's way as it is already. See, like, and there we go back to the looming specter of Venezuela, where Trump said on Friday, like last week, in a presser, that he's willing to put, quote, boots on the ground. And it's like, well, no one voted for that.
Nope.
So this is what we're talking about. If the government is saying that your life is expendable to their ends, then you need to kill them, I think, is basically what needs to happen. And this is specifically talking to the American audience. Canada, we're great. You don't need to kill Mark Carney. Don't do that, please. We love our prime minister here. I don't know how much of this you're going to keep, but like,
okay.
Yeah, don't kill any politicians in Canada.
In Canada.
This is why I think we're hard to find on Apple.
Yeah.
According to one of my American friends who tried to find the show.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't find it. And it's like, because I'm telling our American audience
things.
I am not saying them that subliminally, and I'm not quite ready to go to America to find out if I'm on a list or not.
Well, we're not going there anytime soon.
No, I'm not on a list.
We'll
I'm
find out when
waiting.
they come here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going.
All right. Anyway, back to the story.
Yeah, back to Canada. We're
Breaking
still in
news.
Canada. Yes.
This is Zelensky, his official
The
Twitter
official
account.
Twitter.
Yes. Today, I appointed Chrystia Freeland as an advisor on economic development. Chrystia is highly skilled in these matters and has extensive experience in attracting investment and implementing economic transformations. Right now, Ukraine needs to strengthen its internal resilience, both for the sake of Ukraine's recovery if diplomacy delivers results as swiftly as possible, and to reinforce our defense if, because of delays by our partners, it takes longer to bring this war to an end. I am grateful to everyone who is ready to support our state and our engagement with partners. Glory to Ukraine!
So, yes, this is from today. This was from 1:35 a.m. today. I don't know what time that was in Ukraine, but yes, everyone hearing this news, this is the big breaking news of today in Canada. Obviously, your questions are stuff like, how can a foreign government president appoint a sitting governmental MP from the ruling party, the Liberal Party, to a position within his government while she is still serving as an MP? That's a crazy thing.
Wow, would you look at that?
Breaking news: Chrystia Freeland to resign from Parliament following Zelensky appointment.
Wow! From today.
Yeah, that came at 6. Yeah,
Right as we were uploading all the clips and stuff. And
like
getting
6:30
set up.
p.m. ish.
Yeah.
Eastern time, anyway, because that's Ottawa time.
Yep, so she's leaving Parliament to go work with Zelensky.
Former longtime cabinet minister and deputy prime minister Chrystia Freeland says she will resign from Parliament in the coming weeks. In a social media post shared just hours after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced he'd appointed her as an advisor on economic development. Yep.
Yay. Wow, she's going up in the world, huh?
Oh,
here's her Twitter.
Yep, here's her post.
Ukraine is at the forefront of today's global fight for democracy, and I welcome this chance to contribute on an unpaid basis as an economic advisor to President Zelensky. In accepting this voluntary position, I will be stepping aside from my role as the Prime Minister's special representative for the reconstruction of Ukraine. In the coming weeks, I will also leave my seat in Parliament. I want to thank my constituents for their years of confidence in me. I'm so grateful to have been your representative. A lot of empty seats in Parliament, changing hands and getting freed up and
changing hands. Yep.
Yeah, everyone playing hot potato with their Parliament seat or musical chairs.
So
I guess
if there's a by-election, this seat will probably just stay Liberal, but it would be funny if it didn't. And
it was a conservative or NDP took it.
It said that she would resign in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the coming weeks. So I guess we'll see. You haven't tabled those papers yet, Christia.
No,
We'll see.
not
But it
quite
seems
yet.
like your position has already started in Ukraine.
Yeah, looks like it. Is she gonna be juggling a little bit for a couple weeks?
Yeah, that timing is interesting that he
Mm-hmm.
broke that news first and then she resigned like 12 hours later.
I mean, I think we covered
Back
this,
to a silly Canadian story
yeah,
of sorts.
I think we covered this a while back on one of our earlier episodes of Carney trying to use sneak English spelling into our
We
official documents
We
and
did
stuff.
actually.
Yeah, I do
yes.
remember that. Yeah.
This is an older article again, December 14th from CTV News. Canadian English supporters urge Carney to abandon the federal shift to British spelling.
Sorry,
Please.
the scroll wheel fucked up for a second there.
It's okay, it happens. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
In a letter to Prime Minister Mark Carney, 5 linguistic experts and an Editors Association representative says the simplest way to keep national elbows up is to get Canadian style down on the same page.
The December 11th letter, shared with the Canadian press, notes the use of British spelling, such as utilization, globalization, catalyze, I've never seen that one before, instead of utilization, globalization, and blah, 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 in documents including the 2025 federal budget. Canadian spelling is widely used and fairly consistent in Canada, in book and magazine publishing, in newspapers and other media, and in the federal and provincial governments and their legislators. The letter says, if governments start to use other systems for spelling, it could lead to confusion about which spelling is Canadian.
Yeah, I saw this. I was typing up a document for reasons that I can't totally explain yet. But I was typing up the word judgment, and I was getting, the red squiggly because I included the E. But I guess British English doesn't have the E. So it's just
I've seen
judgment
both.
without the E. It's judgment.
Jugment.
Yeah, it's judgment.
Jugment.
Judgment.
Jugged meat.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't know. Some of the British stuff is...
Yeah, they go really crazy with their S's instead of Z's.
Yeah, they really hate the Z.
Yeah.
And I don't like tire with a Y.
Yeah, that one really fucks me up.
Yeah, don't like it.
Yeah. Canadian Tire. We have a store called Canadian Tire. Are they going to have to change their name? To why?
Oh my
Canadian
God,
Tire?
that would be brutal. That would be so brutal. Imagine that government mandate.
Yeah. It's just, I think Carney's been staying in the UK for too long. This is a weird fucking story. From CBC News, December 23rd. Ashley McIsaac concert canceled after AI wrongly accuses him of being a sex offender. I'm telling you, this is not a nice place to be, he told CBC News. Okay. Do you know this guy? I've never heard this
No,
guy
he's
before.
pretty small time, but Canadian musicians, especially someone like a Kate Breton fiddler,
Yeah.
is certainly going to have ways to get in the paper. And this story is no exception to that. So basically, some stupid small venue owner looked up the guy's name, and there's some other American guy who has a sex offender registry, and so AI was like, "Oh yeah, it's the same person." So that's basically it. I just summed up the whole story for you. He's like, if a lawyer wants to take this on for free, I would stand up because I'm not the first, and I sure won't be the last.
Definitely not. This is going to become a precedent. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
more
I
and
hope a
more.
lawyer does take this on because this stuff is evil and it needs to be legislated.
The 50-year-old virtuoso fiddler later said he learned the inaccurate claims were taken from online articles regarding a man in Atlantic Canada with the same last name. Google Canada spokesperson Wendy Matten issued a statement saying Google's AI overviews are frequently changing to show what she described as the most helpful information. When issues arise, like if our features misinterpret web content or miss some context, we use those examples to improve our systems and may take some action under our policies. Wow.
That's not ownership, though. That's not the
No.
same thing as taking responsibility. That's just saying the technology's bad. Sorry it killed your dog, but,
Yeah.
shit happens.
It's here to stay, so get the fuck over it,
Yeah.
scrub. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah,
So,
no
yeah,
apology.
Sorry, this
no
guy.
money.
From Brooklyn Dad Defiant on X.
This
the
is one of
Everything
those
app.
big accounts
Yeah. Oh, it's a big one?
for
a
progressive types.
Oh, yeah. Thanks to Trump, the United States has dropped out of the top 20 most loved countries in the world in 2025. Apparently, Canada's number one.
Yes,
People
according
love
to
us.
World Atlas,
Yes.
Canada is the favorite country of everyone in the world. 2025, baby. Second place Norway, third place Sweden.
Yeah, it's the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Australia's high up there. People are really riding high for Australia recently. A lot of big properties coming from Australia. We got Bluey, got cold ones.
Ow, my eyes! Holy fuck! Ah, it burns! That is ow! What the fuck?
Yeah, the only 2 reps from Asia, you got Japan in 16th and Singapore in 20th.
Yeah,
But yes,
Singapore,
then it's
nice.
mostly all just Europe, and then plus, Australia, New Zealand, which are Oceania reps. So
Definitely.
they're way higher. They're both way higher up on the list in the UK, which is funny.
Yeah. And the United States is nowhere to
No,
be found.
Everyone hates America, and it's good, and they deserve it.
Our
Yes, it wouldn't be an episode of Woke in the West without a little bit of Pierre Polyev humiliation.
favorite little gremlin, Pierre Polyev.
A little shit weasel.
Yeah, he's providing his thoughts because he hasn't had a very good couple of months, recently.
No, he's had a rough go at things.
He's lost how many seats to the Liberals? 2?
Well, yes,
2
2
MPs?
MPs flipped
Yeah.
and one is resigning.
Yeah. So here's a little clip from CBC Live.
You've now lost 2 MPs to the Liberal Party. Both have pointed to your leadership as issues. Michael Maw saying that he was more interested in unity than division. Is this a problem of your leadership at this point?
It's a problem of Mark Carney's leadership that after Canadians clearly rejected a costly Liberal majority because they knew it would mean higher grocery prices and higher food costs. He is trying to manipulate
Stuff that
his
you
way
approved,
through
by the way.
backroom deals to get that majority.
He's
That would
allowed
be-
to do
and
this,
it
though,
would be,
right?
He looks worn down.
He's benefited from it in the past, too.
But he's trying to take a majority, a costly majority, that would drive up the cost of living and enrich liberal elites, of course, but not through democratic means. My message to Mark Carney is that if you want a costly majority government to drive up taxes and deficits, then you have to go to the Canadian people and have them vote for it, not do it by dirty backroom deals.
Every time he complains about something, groceries being too expensive, stuff like that, he helped bring that about. Look at his voting record.
And he didn't even propose a plan
Yes.
to fix it. Like,
Yes.
he was given the opportunity and he squandered it.
He is
So
partially the reason why things are this bad. So he has no fucking pot to piss
got
in.
called out. He needs to shut up.
Yeah.
He needs to propose a plan or he needs to step down. But what he's doing right now and just complaining,
Not a sense of
is
self-reflection at all.
though he did find a new strategy,
Oh?
I guess that we'll get to in a moment.
Yes, we've got another Pierre clip here. The gift that just keeps on giving. This is another interview.
Yeah, it's another interview clip for pee poo poo head. I don't know what channel this is from.
Scott Robertson. Well, this is from CTV, I believe. The clip itself.
Power Play.
Power Play.
With Vasi Kopolos.
What a name.
But I'll put to you again, you could not convince 2 of your own MPs that those ideas were enough to stay in the party under your leadership. And again, I'll put to you with great respect, I look at public opinion polling. Every single one of them has your party and the Liberals neck and neck within 1 or 2 points of each other. But when you look deeper at your own personal numbers, the divide between you and the leader of the Liberal Party, the Prime Minister, is far more significant. You were supposed to win this election. You lost it. You didn't hold your own seat. You have now lost 3 MPs. At what point are you a liability to the Conservative Party?
Well, we added 2.5 million votes. We had the biggest vote count in our party's history. We got 25 more seats, the biggest share of votes since 1988. Why? Because I ran on restoring the promise of this country, that anybody who works hard gets a good life, gets an affordable home, a safe street. And that vision brought people to our party in record numbers. We've led the debate on inflation, carbon taxes, crime, immigration, natural resources, drugs, and more, to the point where the Liberals have to plagiarize our words, even though if they don't actually put them into practice. So we've been driving the debate under my leadership, and we're going to continue to demonstrate that if Canadians want those policies that Liberals keep pretending to support, they're actually going to have to vote for the real deal in the next election.
But you lost. At the end of the day, you lost, right?
I love how it just ends there.
Yeah, that's
I would love to see what he
there.
said.
But I'll put to you
I would love
again.
to see what he said afterwards.
But you lost.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you fucking lost. Speaking of Pierre Poilievre, we've also got some remarks of his on the
from
Venezuelan invasion, but we will save them. I guess this is a good opportunity to
Begin the
segue into
transition?
begin the transition.
Transition.
So now we're on to the big story of the evening. A day or two ago, the U.S. conducted a sneaky little operation in Venezuela.
An illegal operation.
Yes, after cock teasing everybody for God knows how long. He finally went and did it, the absolute mad lad. President Nicolas Maduro has been captured by the United States forces and is currently being held in New York. And Venezuela is currently being occupied by a colonial, evil imperialist empire. So, yay. What a great way to start off the new year.
Yeah.
And, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's kind of funny that I believe I read somewhere that the U.S. didn't fully remove Maduro's government, so his
him.
Yeah, so his vice president is basically believes the same stuff, and she's already fuck America and stuff.
We need to arm the troops and all that.
So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But he got out of there. 80 people died in the initial bombing on Caracas.
Yeah.
Which some people were posting on Twitter, wow, congrats to the troops, no one died. Actually 80 people died.
Yeah.
Americans, there's more people out there than just you. But honestly, the thing that has really perturbed me about this Venezuela invasion that we definitely saw coming here in Woke in the West, the best political podcast show in Canada.
The best.
Or at least the West.
The best in the West.
The West is the best.
Is that this is another test. It's a woke test for the West as to whether or not they can universally condemn this and if the U.S. can suffer any consequences for it. Because if we can agree that it's illegal, then it's a violation of international law. Then what sorts of things could we do to hurt the U.S.? Can we pull ambassadors? Can we put our own tariffs? Can we pull our athletes from the Olympic Games? It's going to be there in the next few years. Could we withhold the FIFA games that they're supposed to get? Can we do literally anything? Anything more than the pathetic statements of which you are about to see a few. Because the pathetic statements go one of two directions, really. It's either A, you say, wow, congratulations, you big strong daddy Trump. You did such a great job invading that other country and taking their leader and not lowering the price of groceries. So good job. And then the other statements which read, we're really concerned about this.
And that's it.
That's basically it. So let's get into it.
Here we are with our buddy that we were just talking about, Mr. Pierre Poilievre, who always knows the right side to take.
The right direction to grovel.
Congratulations to President Trump on successfully arresting narco-terrorist and socialist dictator Nicolas Maduro, who should live out his days in prison. The legitimate winner of the most recent Venezuelan elections, Edmundo Gonzalez, should take office along with the courageous hero and voice of the Venezuelan people, Maria Corina Machado. Down with socialism. Long live freedom!
Wow, way to ask his Pierre. 4 million views on this tweet that has 64K likes, so that just goes to show you just how much people laugh at him.
First comment is, do you realize that America can and would do the same to Canada anytime? We too have oil.
Yeah. I see one of the NDP leadership candidates down there, Yves Anglais. Congrats to Poilievre for once again demonstrating total hostility to international law.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know that this is not good for Canadian oil, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I know we're technically out of the Canada section, but the Venezuelan invasion did have an impact on Canadian oil stocks today, because today is the first day the market's open since the invasion. It wasn't a big drop, and I saw way too many headlines saying that it was big, but it wasn't really. So carry on.
Yeah. Up next, we have the Prime Minister.
Yes.
The guy who won the election.
The guy who should definitely have a better statement than failed politician Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah. This is pretty long, but it's basically boils down to the next election should be free and democratic. just kind of ignoring what led to that in the first place,
but there are parts of this that I find really gross. Like Mark Carney kind of tees it up with Canada has not recognized the illegitimate regime of Maduro since it stole the 2018 election. The Canadian government therefore welcomes the opportunity for freedom, democracy, peace, and prosperity for the Venezuelan people. Which to me, this reads as a statement for Trump.
Yeah.
He's trying to make Trump happy with this, but it's so pathetic.
You can tell he's dancing on glass and kissing ass with this.
Yeah,
but he has to tread carefully.
He does have to.
It's kind of.
Does this have less views? By
yes,
half?
It does.
Yeah.
Yes,
way less.
But more likes.
No, way less likes. The
Less
other one
likes?
had like 64K, but conservative stuff is always botted on Twitter, the X, everything out. Yeah, so really weak sauce statement from Carney. We know that he's doing it to kiss Trump's butt, but like, come on.
Yeah, he could do a little better than that.
We welcome the opportunity. Oh, so it's okay to overthrow any government that you don't like the leader of? Though I guess, he was a dictator, of course. I'm not denying that he wasn't a dictator, but now you're saying it's okay for the U.S. to go and overthrow any government that has a shady election? Are they going to overthrow Russia anytime soon?
They don't have a very good track record of doing that, by the way.
Are they going to overthrow Turkey anytime soon?
Yeah. They have a lot of shock and awe when they go in, at first, but then they have trouble upholding
I hate even
things after things cool down, I
hate that we even have to spend time on this because it is just a distraction.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. We've got several other distractions, courtesy of the Trump regime, that we will quickly go through to all distract from the real thing going on, which we all know what it is.
Yeah. The U.S. just wants oil. We all know that's the purpose
and
for
also
the Venezuelan
Epstein
invasion.
as well.
Yeah. Well, it's a distraction from that in part. So in regards to Canadian military presence and entanglement with the U.S., because as a result of, this incursion into Venezuela, questions about Canada's the questions about Canada's military might have come up again. And, I keep seeing articles where it's like, oh, the Liberal government said that they would potentially look into starting like civilian defense force and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, the U.S. isn't waiting. So like we need to start doing stuff clearly. So I was asked by a friend, family member, fan of the show, whatever you want to call him. And, it was just how many American troops are in Canada? Are there any bases in Canada? And the answer I can say is no. There are no American bases in Canada. Do we have troops in Canada? Yes, but not really. Like we have a couple, 150, I believe is the number, somewhere in that ballpark. And most of them are involved with like NORAD, which is the North American Atlantic, like radar, whatever for like, it's stuff to protect against Russia. Basically, it's a partnership, but that's basically the only reason that we have American troops in this country. So, yeah. And I got that from a CTV article from last January, actually, 2025.
It's been a burning question for a while, it seems.
Yes.
Now
people
it's
are curious.
relevant.
Yeah. So, but we don't have American troops in Canada, really.
No.
These are like really trained radar people. These are not like boots on the ground people. No.
So as a sort of a consequence for the U.S.'s recent actions, we have an article here from Independent UK. U.S. tourists banned from entering 2 countries. Mali and Burkina Faso have banned U.S. citizens from entering their countries effective immediately in retaliation for President Donald Trump's decision to ban Malian and Burkina citizens from entering the United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard a third country might have followed in this. I see Niger listed there separately. So maybe they did return that. And I can't say that there are necessarily a lot of American tourists into countries in this part of Africa. But, it would be nice to see this be the start of something of a revolution. It would be nice to see the U.S. punished a little bit.
Yeah. Something, anything. Or else they're just going to keep doing it and keep getting worse. What the fuck is this ad?
Do this tip.
Burning a Tide Pod with a candle?
So there's an ad that's like got a Tide Pod, like they're smoking it like crack or something.
Yeah, they're heating it up to inject it.
And this ad has a tip for us on how to do it safely.
Wow. Oh, it's just a really short bullet point article. Yeah. See, this is the opposite problem of the Order of Canada article. It's just nothing but bullet points and nothing else. No fluff. There's got to be a middle zone here,
No.
From TheGuardian.com, Trump threatens Colombia with military action as it happens. U.S. president says an operation in Colombia sounds good, and elections in Venezuela will happen at the right time.
Yeah, so this is probably a live recount of a lot of the weekend's events, but I can also recount a lot of stuff. I see a nice condemnation here from a lot of Latin presidents: Spain, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, and Uruguay, condemning it in a joint statement. But Trump himself kind of gestured towards actions in Colombia, which is what the article said, Mexico, Cuba, are all, he said they were like put on notice or something. He made like specific comments where he's like, we have to look at that situation. They have to get it under control. And it's the same like bully language. We were watching the local news yesterday, and the woman was like, Trump's wishes is what the broadcaster said. And I'm like, yeah, these are definitely Trump's wishes. Yeah. These are not the American people's wishes. These are not the people of Venezuela's wishes. These are just Trump's wishes. So I really don't like that the U.S. has realized that they can be the world bully instead of the world police. And Trump's ready to flaunt that. And this is just another exercise in how much the world is willing to put some backbone into condemning further illegal acts from the United States. The world has turned a blind eye to illegal acts all over the world for decades, like from Israel to China or whatever you want to do. So it's like, what can be done now? The U.S. has the most military might in the world. Yeah, they're going to be hard to stop, but like also it's very old. And there's not like new competent people. They're all incompetent for the most part. And the only reason that Maduro was captured was because it was basically a sweetheart deal. Like if any of the viewers have seen the photos of Maduro's capture, he's like smiling and like hanging out with all these guys that, yeah, their faces are blurred, but like they're having fun. Like it doesn't look that serious. The handcuffs are pretty much for show. He's not like a violent, guy, really. He's just like a president of a country. He's not like we were talking about Mali and, Burkina Faso. They have junta leaders. Those are like the military guys. There's a difference. Maduro is not really like that. So, and yeah, they even had him in court today, I think, and he pled not guilty is where that's at. And the judge is 92 years old.
Oh my God. Just run by geriatrics. Oh, here's a nice little video clip of Trump.
Because the U.S. Congress was not notified before the strikes in Venezuela, which the Constitution said that you need the permission of Congress before you do any military. And Trump said, no, the Constitution doesn't say that. I know because I can't read.
Yeah, I know because I wrote the Constitution myself. But yeah, do you know who was informed of the invasion?
Even before the operation took place?
Yes.
Did you maybe tip them off?
Before and after. And they want to go in, and they're going to do a great job for the people of Venezuela. And they're going to represent us well.
Yeah, the oil companies were informed, but
before
not Congress.
And after.
Wow.
Direct line to the oil companies, direct line to Russia. I don't know if we have a post here, but there was a article from the end of December that said Russia getting their families out of Venezuela. That Russia had issued an order, like, hey, if you're in Venezuela, go.
Get out of here.
Yeah, at the end of December.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's very clear who Trump's priorities are. And I just don't understand why the American people continue to not do anything.
Because they're too complacent. They need to turn the heat up on the boiling water a little bit before the frog tries to jump out.
Yeah. Well, it's boiling. We've been boiling. I feel like we've been boiling for a while, but the reporting here from the Washington Post at Brian Allen Analysis is it reports that Donald Trump withheld his support for Maria Corina Machado because she accepted the Nobel Peace Prize. Trump's explanation, per the report, quote, if she had turned it down and said, I can't accept it because it's Donald Trump's, she'd be the president of Venezuela today. So yeah, that we were talking about
just
that he didn't
personal
replace.
grudge.
Yeah, we were talking about that he didn't replace the leader truly.
Yeah,
and that's why everyone was asking like, oh, who's going to be in charge? When are elections? And so Trump was also saying, well, we're going to be in charge, and we're going to run
things,
and that's not going over that well. And it would have been easy for them to just like install Maria, but nope, because she didn't bend the knee enough to Trump, she did not get to be president. Wow. And also, I just want to say personally, I think I don't like her. They call her the voice of the Venezuelan people. I hate calling any politician the voice of the whatever people. That sucks. And also, her platform is that she wants to bring American companies back to Venezuela. and that she's tired of the socialism. So no, I don't like her. There's always a tweet, evergreen, from Donald Trump, October 9th, 2012. This is literally a Trump tweet from @RealDonaldTrump from 14 years ago. Now that Obama's poll numbers are in tailspin, watch for him to launch a strike in Libya or Iran. He is desperate.
Yep. Look at that.
Yep. Every comment is a confession. It's a little treat. A little tweet treat.
Yeah.
Because the reality sucks.
Yeah, of course it doesn't stop there. You know, now he's got his eyes on Greenland and probably
we have to have it.
We gotta have it. Gotta have it all.
Trump renews push for Greenland as Denmark protests.
Yeah.
He
From
appointed
AlJazeera.com.
Appointing a special envoy he said would lead the charge on December 23rd. Trump's comments on Monday came as the leaders of Denmark and Greenland protested against remarks. The new envoy is Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, who said he would make the Arctic Territory, quote, part of the U.S.
Oh, man.
He's the current governor of Louisiana, actually, so he's going to have like 2 jobs.
From Louisiana. Wow.
We need Greenland for national security, not for minerals, the U.S. president said. If you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We have to have it.
The remarks followed Trump's Sunday announcement of Landry's appointment, in which he praised the governor for understanding how essential Greenland is to our national security. Is he going to try to make trips to Greenland, like diplomatic trips?
He hasn't been there yet.
No. No, I mean this envoy guy.
Oh, well, he hasn't been there yet.
Oh, damn.
I don't think so.
This is brand new.
The only chucklehead from the Trump administration to go there, I think, is Trump Jr. Maybe Vance was there. I don't think so, but I know Trump Jr. was there.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, Vance was supposed to go, but then there was a shooting, I think, and then he didn't.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. No, there was a really good Bjork statement, too, for people that like Bjork. She's like, Greenland should have independence from the U.S. and Denmark. So that's extra
based. Yeah, we got another Al Jazeera article from 20th of
Trump
December.
says the U.S. has launched large-scale attacks on ISIL in Syria.
Or more commonly known as ISIS.
Yeah, remember them? Throwback.
Are they still a thing in that area? Probably a little bit.
I wonder what the U.S. is still doing in Syria. I thought they were out of there.
Yeah.
But
U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says attacks are a declaration of vengeance.
Also, shout out to Al Jazeera calling him Defense Secretary still.
Yeah, right.
Hit the ISIS thugs in Syria, President Trump has said. A week after 2 U.S. soldiers and an interpreter were killed in Syria's Palmyra city. Oh, yeah, that did happen. I forgot about that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. The U.S. also did a strike in Nigeria, I want to say, over the holidays, but that was very quickly forgotten as well. The U.S. claimed that they were striking Nigeria to protect Nigerian Christians, but they struck a village where there were not any Christians.
Mm-hmm. In a speech Friday evening in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, Trump said he ordered a massive strike on the terrorists that killed our 3 great patriots last week. It was very successful. It was precision, the president added. We hit every site flawlessly, and we are restoring peace through strength all over the world. I love that. It was beautiful. It was marvelous, majestic. You can't even imagine how beautiful it was. All the blood and explosions. It was great.
Yeah. Jordan's Air Force also carried out strikes as part of the operation in southern Syria. Rami Abdel Rahman, head of the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, told AFP news agency that at least 5 members of ISIS were killed in eastern Syria's Deir az-Zor province, including the leader of a cell responsible for drones in the area. Wow. Successful strikes, I guess.
Yeah, so
Syria is a country
still
that's definitely
active over there.
Looking better, but I would prefer if the U.S. wasn't a part of it. But
growing pains,
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's some more distractions that the Trump administration is trying to throw in your face.
Yeah, December 12th, the U.S. plans to issue a $1 coin with Trump's likeness on it in the new year.
Yeah,
the evil loony just dropped.
Yeah.
And yes, it is really just comical. I don't know how you can have 3 faces to a coin.
Yeah, right. Maybe these are just mock-ups as to they have to choose which one.
Maybe.
Damn. Yeah, Roman emperor coins.
It's funny that the timeline says till 2026 because it's sort of like the timeline of the empire.
Yeah, right. It's coming to an end.
If Trump were to die this year, it's if that kind of crazy thing did happen, then the coins are already made. Maybe.
Yeah, right? The
There you go.
commemorative coins.
Yeah, that's all done.
Some more Trump shenanigans here from a CNN article from December 11th. Trump signs executive order blocking states from enforcing their own regulations around AI. So basically, all the states have to do what Trump says or else.
Yeah, this is a big anti-states' rights thing.
Yeah, right.
And it's mostly because states that are progressive, like California and New England states that have a lot of the tech companies over there, have been putting forward some rules. And Trump's like, no way, I can't have that.
Nope. The order could have far-reaching effects on U.S. efforts to dominate the nascent technology, which has already become a significant part of the economy and the stock market, but which also still remains untested in many ways. David Sachs, the White House crypto and AI czar, oh my God,
Fake position.
said during the signing ceremony that the executive order would have the administration create a federal framework on AI in conjunction with Congress. Oh, lovely. In the meantime, this EO gives your administration tools to push back on the most onerous and excessive state regulations. Oh,
Congress killed an earlier attempt by Republicans to prevent states from regulating AI in July. The U.S. Senate voted nearly unanimously to remove a 10-year moratorium on the enforcement of state artificial intelligence regulations from Trump's sweeping domestic policy bill before the bill passed.
Oh man, they're just doing everything they can to just shove it down people's throats without any resistance at all.
The government is happy to help, but that's why you have to elect people that are going to regulate it, push back. The 92-year-olds in the American Senate are not the right people for the job, unfortunately.
Definitely not. All right, so America is finally getting its own Hunger Games, apparently.
What?
Woohoo!
Say what? Hunger Games?
Yeah, we're going to have some Olympic Games with competitors from all across the country.
In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. But I promise, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, he basically just watched the Hunger Games and was like, that's
boy,
cool,
I
want to do it in real life.
Wow.
Yeah.
One state and territory.
Yeah. He watched the Hunger Games or maybe the Long Walk because he was in theaters.
Actually. They should do a long walk for girls.
Yeah, right. So he's just throwing the bread and circuses at the people as much as possible
At the same time to distract everything. Let's go.
Everything and anything and everything.
So many people were like, whoa, 2026 really smacked me in the face. Like not even a weekend. Yeah, because nothing has changed.
Yeah.
The calendar might have turned over, guys, but the fight remains the same. You know, we still don't have any money. Living conditions are getting worse.
So this is a story that I think has already been kind of obscured.
Totally forgotten in the news cycle.
Yeah, nobody's talking about it anymore. But remember when this was a thing? Trump signs executive order to reclassify marijuana in the U.S.
on December 18th. And the reason, of course, that it was forgotten about so quickly is because a reclassification is not legalization. In fact, the psychoactive plant is now listed alongside common painkillers, ketamine, and testosterone as a less dangerous drug, which could mean that there is funding to research it, but the U.S. government isn't funding research right now because it doesn't like science. So,
yeah,
I'm not really sure who can benefit from this, especially because in the big, beautiful bill, I was pretty sure, wasn't there a provision to ban hemp?
Yes.
There was a hemp ban provision. So, I don't know, a very specific person is benefiting from this, but it is not the companies that I own stock in for marijuana.
It does not matter if you reclassify marijuana because the whole plant is now outlawed. The plant that it comes from.
Yeah,
so
it's stupid.
Anyway, it doesn't matter because nobody cares about this anymore.
False hope.
It's been so buried.
False hope from the false prophet.
Yeah. It was just another fledgling attempt to distract from the Epstein files, and it backfired.
Not working.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which,
Epstein files. The deadlines keep passing. I'm now seeing tweets on my feed constantly where it's like, today is 14 days since the Department of Justice didn't make the legal timeline. And so, yes, Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna are once again back on the grind to press the admin, though I believe that the administration and the Congress and stuff are still on winter break. I don't think they've met yet.
Yeah.
So yes, there's going to be potentially some legislation coming up that everyone can look forward to where
Oh boy,
they want to hold them accountable. And I'm going to let Ro Khanna do the talking.
Yeah. Oh, this is like a minute 19.
For why that entire doc.
It's his motion for what he's asking for the department from Pam Bondi.
The Justice Department's document dump this afternoon does not comply with Thomas Massie and my Epstein Transparency Act. They released one document from a New York grand jury of 119 pages, totally blacked out. This despite a federal judge ordering them to release that document. And our law requires them to explain redactions. There's not a single explanation for why that entire document was redacted. We have not seen the draft indictment that implicates other rich and powerful men who were on Epstein's rape island, who either watched the abuse of young girls or participated in the abuse of young girls and the sex trafficking. The reality is Pam Bondi has obfuscated for months. She first said there were no more documents to be seen. Now she's admitting and releasing hundreds of thousands of documents, but it is an incomplete release with too many redactions. Thomas Massie and I are exploring all options. It can be the impeachment of people at justice, inherent contempt, or referring for prosecution those who are obstructing justice. We will work with the survivors to demand the full release of these files, to demand justice for the Epstein class and accountability.
Brilliant that they put in the law that like any redactions have to be explained, because that is just the cherry on top, because they were really ready for the the admin to completely drop the ball on this, and they did, and now they're like, we got you in the law. You broke it, the law that we just passed like 2 weeks ago.
Also, sorry for snickering, but just hearing the word rape island just casually getting dropped like that, it's just, it took me back a little bit.
Yeah, he really just had that ready to go.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
I think that 2026 potentially for the U.S. serves as a time where left and right can come together to say, we hate Epstein, everyone associated with him, and we hate Israel. And the coalition that comes together from that is going to drive the next presidential election. And this is a big year for midterms in the U.S. This is the midterm year. God, there were some stories that we're not even going to really get to today that just broke today. Governor Tim Walz, there's been a massive scandal in Minnesota for the last week and a half that apparently the MAGA people all found their new thing to go after, their new boogeyman. And it's these daycares in Minnesota, because allegedly they're run by Somalis, and America hates Somalians right now.
They sure do.
And allegedly these daycares have received lots of funding federally and state funding. And then you have these Republican 20-something-year-old dudes, with their cameras going to these daycares let me see the kids. Where are the kids? And they're like, no, we don't have kids. But some of the people there, of course, they're Somalian, so they barely speak English, and there's not the greatest look. And so you had the Republicans and the Fox News. They've been hammering this home because Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota is seeking his second reelection this year. He already completed 2 full terms as governor of Minnesota. He was seeking a third term. But this morning he came out and said, I'm done. I'm not doing it again.
Wow.
So Tim Walz, they got their way. It barely lasted 2 weeks. The news cycle for the daycare thing is so fast. That's why I thought I'd give it a minute mention here, because you're going to already not hear about it in a week from now.
But he caved because of that?
He said he won't seek re-election. No, I think Klobuchar is going to try and run for governor to take his spot. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Not great. Yeah, still on the Epstein train.
Yeah, more Epstein stuff. So it was redacted so sloppily and so poorly done that apparently you can just Control F and search Trump, or you can copy and paste it in another document and just Control and F for Trump, and you can find his name everywhere.
Yeah, during winter break, so to speak, there were a lot of people on Twitch just sort of copy pasting and searching all this stuff. All of our favorite fellas did it, plenty of stuff you can find if you go looking yourself, but it's all out there.
Trump.
Well, a lot of it anyway. The admin didn't release everything, but what they released, they just fucked up so bad
This is pretty funny. When you're searching the files, if you search Trump, you get 0 results. But if you search Trump with a space at the end, you get 600 results, which tells me that DOJ blocked the search, but they're so fucking old and stupid they didn't block the search with spaces. So have fun while it lasts. From Steve Gateway.
And
on
we
Twitter.
saw as well that allegedly this big goof from the Department of Justice was in part because of Doge canceling their Adobe Acrobat subscription or something like that in redacting the files. So that could have been a part of it too.
Fucking idiots. Last story out of America, I believe.
Not to be hyperbolic, but this is what a Cold War looks like, is what this tweet from @Skookum says in regards to an MIT professor of plasma science and fusion was shot to death in his home. 47-year-old Portuguese feller killed in Brookline, Norfolk County, which is like a swanky New England area. So the fact that he was killed in his home means that this is like basically a hit.
It's
and
targeted,
like someone knew that they wanted him dead specifically. So for what reason? Was he on the verge of discovering something or what? I don't know.
Yeah, some kind of energy, plasma science and fusion. Yeah, so maybe some kind of
But unfortunately, the U.S. has allowed this to happen because they have gone out of the way to kill dozens of Iranian nuclear scientists. So the door is open now that, your brightest and your best are fair game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sad, but that's
Very
the state
sad.
of things in America. So, whenever you guys are ready.
All right, now we're branching out to the rest of the world.
Breaking. Chilean president-elect Kast is the son of a Nazi party member who escaped to Chile. Yes, Chile had a presidential election at the end or in the middle of December, and unfortunately, the conservatives won. So the right-wing swing of Latin South America continues, and it is not great.
I love this moniker, Zionist Nazi Kast.
Yes. Yeah.
Which
not
you can be
great.
both things at the same time. Make no mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this is a photograph of either him or his father.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, things are not looking good in South America right now.
Yep. The children of actual literal Nazis are becoming president of countries in South America. And if you needed an example as to how, history is within one lifetime, Anne Frank's friend died today.
Yeah,
Eva
that's
Schloss.
right.
I mentioned it to people. She was 94. She lived in the same building as Anne Frank.
Mm-hmm.
So
she is now dead.
Yes.
And now a Nazi is being elected in South America. So
Yep. So get ready, guys. Meanwhile, in the UK,
moving across the pond now,
the Brexit majority hasn't just slipped, it's vanished. There's this lovely little chart for our YouTube viewers from Peter Kellner /YouGov, which shows that from the people that voted in the original Brexit referendum, 5 million of them have died since 2016. The new young voters back rejoin 5-1. 29% of Leave voters now want to rejoin. And the net result is that Rejoin would win if they had a vote today.
Yeah.
Rejoin wins with just under 20 million voters, and Leave or stay out has just under 12 million.
Yeah. So the year's 2016. These ones are all dead, so they don't count. Rejoin.
Yeah, I mean, we all remember how nail-biting the Brexit referendum was, even on the night. So the fact that 5 million people could just die and sway the margin that insanely is pretty crazy.
Wow.
But the the UK isn't going to have another vote on Brexit, unfortunately. I believe the decision has been made. So too bad.
Yep.
Y'all just got to deal with it.
Make
Make your own country better.
Made your bed now.
Yeah, no one's going to help you now. Sorry that Keir Starmer is a wet blanket.
Yeah. Now we're going to the rest of Europe, which the UK is no longer a part of.
Yes, this is one of my favorite stories of the last few weeks.
Oh, yeah?
Electricity prices in France temporarily dropped to zero. Consumers got power for free. On December 8th, electricity prices on France's day-ahead of market fell to zero, meaning that for several hours, power was effectively free. The reason was a rare energy surplus. An unusually warm winter sharply reduced demand for heating, while strong winds boosted output from wind farms. At the same time, nuclear plants were running at about 85% capacity, which is normal, adding even more excess supply to the grid. I believe that there were comments that kind of clarified this a little bit better in reply to this post that I'm reading off of on X. But 85% is what is expected for nuclear because they never run nuclear at full capacity. Wind is the one that has more of a fluctuation. And so since people weren't using power, there was more power available. Nuclear didn't need to be like used as much. So like the wind was what they were drawing from because the wind was producing so much that it lowered the cost for basically everything across the board. So that's what happened. So nuclear was like just the consistent baseline, but the wind fluctuated so much that, it ultimately reduced power cost to zero.
Growing renewable generation. No, mate, it was the 85% capacity. Well, yeah, nuclear is renewable energy. It's probably the most dangerous out of all of them, but, you know.
Not by much, even.
Yeah. But yeah, good job, Paris and France.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've been to France. I've been to Paris. And I have seen the wind farms in France, and they are big and they are cool, and it's a great use. They're way up there in the north, up by Normandy and stuff.
Any dead birds on the ground?
No, I didn't. Wasn't that close to them. I didn't see that.
Okay, so now we're going to Australia here.
YouTube probably won't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're not going to show the whole thing, but there was a mass shooting that happened. It seems like so much has happened since then. But
yeah, that's why we had to go fast.
Yeah.
The big terrorist event of the holiday season was in Australia during Hanukkah, I believe, because it was an attack directed towards Jewish people.
Yeah.
And it was a father and son duo who just opened fired from a bridge. For like 11 minutes straight. There's videos online. We have a video of the full 11 minutes.
Yeah, we're not going to show it.
But it's just showing that
reasons.
it's still up on Twitter that you can like watch this. This was like maybe the most recorded and witnessed mass shooting in human history up to this point. Because most shootings, especially in the States, tend to happen in schools or malls or places where it's like kind of enclosed, and if people aren't they could be potentially putting their life in danger if they got in the path of the shooter, right? But like this event was like at a public park.
Oh, God.
Like they were on a bridge just shooting, and they held their position for like 10 minutes. So there's the one thing I will say about this footage is that towards the end of it, I believe, is that once the shooters are sort of, no longer a threat, civilians just surge the bridge pretty quickly, and then cops shoot at the civilians because they're like, more shooters.
We can show the ending.
Yes,
here.
we have this delightful. This isn't the ending. This is the father who leaves the bridge. The son remains on the bridge. The father goes to shoot more people, as you do as a terrorist, and he gets freaking bodied by a cool Muslim man who owned a small local business in the area.
Yeah.
And so let's play this clip.
Oh!
Bam. He grabbed him, got the gun, flipped him.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is the dad dies I think he's getting shot by the guy, and he gets to the bridge and he dies on the bridge. And so the son, I think he surrenders. And so he like lays down, and that's when the people surge the bridge, I think. Damn. So like, yeah. So this isn't the end of it. The dad gets back to the bridge.
Wow. So now we know.
But you notice a detail about what I just said?
What?
The guy who saved the situation. This was an attack on Jewish people by a father and son who the details are kind of fuzzy on. But the guy who here in this video just grabbed the gun out of the hands of the assailant is a Muslim man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So could you imagine if someone were to get that detail wrong in order to like further a narrative of some kind?
Yeah, right? I wonder.
Now, who could possibly be evil enough to lie about the religious background of the hero of an attack against Jewish people? Did everyone vote on their phones? Everyone say it with me. Netanyahu.
The answer was the letter BB.
Yeah,
the answer was
BB.
letter BB. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a clip now of Benjamin Netanyahu, the war criminal president of the Zionist terrorist Nazi nation Israel, taking Jewish credit, I guess, for the guy who I just said was Muslim, saving the lives of those people by taking down this shooter. So let's play this clip from this disgusting, repugnant, repulsive man. We have seen evil at its worst. Oh, it's in Hebrew. I will do the translation. And we have also seen Jewish heroism at its best. I do not speak Hebrew. The captions are on screen. I saw on the way here a video of a Jew who pounces on one of the murderers, takes the weapon from him, and saves who knows how many lives.
Yeah. No, he was a Muslim, not a Jew.
Yeah, he was Muslim.
Nice try, Benny boy.
Oh, he's so lucky that clip is in Hebrew. It gives him plausible deniability.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he needs to be in jail.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, it's you again.
Yeah, I commented on this post. I actually can't believe he'd lie about something that will definitely be in the news cycle. That was a Muslim BB. Now go to jail forever like you belong.
No, he deserves way worse than jail. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah. He deserves to be tortured like they torture the Palestinian children in an Israeli jail. Yeah. That's what he deserves. All right. During the holidays, of course, the genocide has not stopped in Gaza or Palestine. There are too many reports of people freezing to death in temperatures out there as well. Babies and, women and children and the like, being denied shelter and stuff. But before we even get to the worst of that, Israel forces raided the city of Tubas in the West Bank, posting warning leaflets that said, quote, "We are monitoring your online activity. You have been warned," in an apparent attempt to silence Palestinians from speaking online about their suffering, showing solidarity, or exposing Israeli crimes on social media. There's a poster we have on screen right now. It's very 1984.
Yeah, it's got a big eye on it with like a beam shooting out of it.
Yeah. Very dystopian from the
from
Israeli
Christmas Eve 2025.
Yep.
Wow.
This is what
Merry
Israel's
Christmas,
doing.
Palestine. Woo. Yeah, what a gift.
Mhm.
So heartwarming.
Occupation's the gift that keeps on giving. And like I said, a lot of Palestinians are freezing to death out there. So, you know what would do them some good is a visit to the doctor. So, Israel decided during the holidays is the best time to ban the humanitarian organization Doctors Without Borders, becoming the first country in the world to do so.
Wow.
Yeah, December 30th is when they did that. So, Happy New Year. Doctors are now Hamas.
Yeah, and it's just one of 24 humanitarian organizations, apparently, that they have banned, according to the Associated Press.
Yeah, it's because Israel's government wants like detailed background checks for every single person doing aid so that they can like threaten their families and get, background information on them so that they can threaten them in the future. Yeah. But, that's a violation of rights. So they were smart to not comply. And that's why all those organizations were removed, banned, because they're Hamas.
Ban-hammered.
But there was also another fun Israeli distraction. Somaliland got recognition from the state of Israel. I mean, if you can call it a state, but Somaliland is a breakaway region of Somalia that, they're the first place in the world to recognize its own independence. So I don't know exactly what the purpose is for this. I have seen some theories online that this is just a really good area to like stage troops for anything to do with Yemen and Saudi Arabia and all that entire peninsula. So
that makes sense.
That's why Israel is backing this. Because if they can help Somalia, or if they can help Somaliland break off from Somalia, then they can be like, well, we deserve a military base. Very America style. So, yeah.
They'll be grateful to us.
Exactly. So there you go. Somaliland got its first recognition. Not great, but,
Hooray,
Israel isn't even recognized by every country in the world. So, what good is their recognition? Back to the UK.
I mean, this is tangentially related to...
tangentially related,
Israel.
of course, to Israel, Palestine, an event taking place in the UK with everyone's favorite Swedish activist, Greta Thunberg. She was arrested in London under the Terrorism Act for holding up a sign that said, "I support Palestine action prisoners. I oppose genocide." Because holding up a sign saying you support Palestine action in the UK is defined as terrorism because a Palestine action group is declared a terrorist group in the UK. So if you hold up a sign saying you support terrorism, you go to jail.
Damn. Yeah. Sometimes, because I remember like conservatives back in the 2010s were complaining about how free speech laws were dead in the UK, and like stuff like this kind of lends credence to their claims, doesn't it?
It really does, and that's a bummer. And this is also why the hatred mounting towards Israel continues to grow.
Yeah.
It's their own doing.
Yeah. Yeah. This girl was the world's darling, you know, when she was talking about just climate change.
When she said, "How dare you?"
Yeah. And then when she started connecting the dots and realized that climate change was, you know, linked to
These are institutions of power, not
Yeah.
just Coca-Cola dumping trash in the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little more complicated than that. And she slowly became more woke. She awakened to these issues more and more. And she became too much for the mainstream to handle. And now she's seen as this radical.
Yeah.
But also she's still a stupid, mentally challenged teenager at the same time. Because they're trying to
Perpetually
have
a child.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, she's woke and based.
Yeah, she's awesome. I'd love to work with Greta in something.
Yeah, I would love to talk to her.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, we're moving away
Speaking
from
of
Israel.
how dare you, though,
Yeah.
in environmental shame, Indonesia is pushing forward with one of the world's largest deforestation projects in Papua, clearing up to 5 million acres, 2 million hectares of pristine forest for sugarcane plantations.
Oof.
Yeah, this biodiverse hotspot is being sacrificed for bioethanol and crops. And this
Yep, there it
area of
is.
the world is like one of the only places that has like elephants and chimpanzees and monkeys and like tigers and like all these things only in this one island. It's just a big loss, but like, you know, environmentalism is so low on the list of things that people nowadays care enough to pay attention to. It's really sad. Like, what can you even do about this? You know,
Yeah,
like
there's so many more urgent, pressing matters. Like what we think are urgent and pressing. Like this is still a very important matter, but like there's so many distractions nowadays.
Yep.
You can't even really keep up with it. You know.
yeah. In comparison to the views on the stuff that we just saw, which was like mostly like 2, 3, 4 million views, this
Yeah.
has like barely over 250,000 views.
Yeah, right. That's pretty.
And
sad.
the engagement is really high, but ratioed to itself. So you got 13,000 retweets with 21,000 likes. So everyone that really is passionate about this is also like pretty close to the same people that are liking it. You know, there's not a lot of high variance.
Not a lot
there.
of reach.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Environmentalism is very low on the list right now, sadly.
But you know, it is very high on the list right now.
Colonialism?
People's hatred of colonialism.
Yep. And awareness. When people become aware of the crimes of colonialism, they want they want their cut. They want their due.
Yeah, exactly.
And Algeria has placed a law in effect declaring France's colonization a crime.
Woo! Good on
Christmas
you.
Eve, as per the BBC.
Yeah, the BBC from
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Yeah, hell yeah.
Algeria's parliament has unanimously passed a law declaring its colonization of the North African state a crime, demanding an apology and reparations.
Hell yeah.
Wow, absolutely.
It also criminalizes the glorification of colonialism. Wow.
France's colonization of Algeria between 1830 and 1962 was marked by mass killings, large-scale deportations, and ended in a bloody war for independence.
Wow, 1.5 million people were killed. I watched a movie with a friend of mine called The Battle of Algiers. Which was, semi-documentarian, I'd say, in a way. Like it's a fictionalized telling of the events, but talks about the liberation of Algiers from the French. A very good movie if you want to check it out.
Yeah, good for them. And I, being half Mexican, fully support Mexico getting reparations from Spain. I remember it was talked about before, but I don't think that it's happened. We deserve it.
Yeah. France's president, Emmanuel Macron, has previously acknowledged the colonization of Algeria was a crime against humanity, but has not offered an apology. Yeah,
Weak.
Fuck you too.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, they always think they're too good to own their crimes.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, pretty.
Some good news over in Syria. I read a statement from the government saying that they were really focusing on creating something that could unify the people and was not using pictures of figures in Syria. So their new currency has been unveiled, and the pictures are all of traditional like crops and plants and stuff.
There's a board, there's some wheat.
It's really shiny and nice.
Yeah, it
Very
looks like
pretty.
our money.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a green one with some nice berries on it.
Maybe those are
Do you know
olives.
what that is? Yeah, maybe. It's flowers.
Cotton,
I love
maybe?
the color on this one.
Is that cotton? Could be.
Oh, it could be. And
And citrus. Yeah.
Yummy. Oh yeah, I bet that one's my favorite.
Yeah, those are really pretty.
Yeah.
People all online were like, "This goes real hard."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. More currency with less old people on it.
Yeah,
please.
good for Syria getting your shit together.
Yeah. It's got animals on it too. Lovely.
Yes, animals and fruits are the best things for currency. A graph from someone who we already saw in this episode at Oricron on Twitter. The entire world has seen 0 per capita electricity growth since 2000 if you exclude China.
So things have just stagnated since the turn of the century, basically.
Yeah, I think that's fairly accurate, actually.
Yeah. And then look at look at this graph here. The bar for China is just all the way up here.
Yeah, China's been at it.
World including China, world excluding China. It's basically just a flat line.
Yep.
Wow. Maybe Y2K really did end everything, and we are just in a simulation.
We could be.
Whoa.
We really could be.
Whoa. All right, little update on Charlie Kirk. You remember that guy, Charlie Kirk?
No, he died.
No, yeah, yeah, whatever. Anyway, his wife, who's totally sad that he's dead. Totally, she's just so torn up about it.
In relating to an earlier story, actually, which was the CBS 60 Minutes story that was pulled by Barry Weiss. Barry Weiss, the new head of CBS, editor-in-chief, also put an Erica Kirk town hall together, which drew a really not great, just under 2 million viewers, 1.9, down 20% from CBS's usual 8 p.m. on a Saturday average. And even though it followed a game, a sports game, one of those sports ball games that people love,
FUBA,
with 3.5 million people, like a lot of people clicked off or, changed the channel because I didn't care. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. It was just an underperforming special to the point that they were running legacy ads and that advertisers were pulling out. That's
you were telling me about that. They were playing the Chia Pet commercial and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, if you're a fan of the Chia Pet, watch this space.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. There was this funny Erica Kirk moment. I know we just talked about her, but please listen to this moment. It's really funny. It's at the Turning Point USA event, the organization started by her, very holy husband, Nick Kirk. And so this is Erica Kirk having a little slip up, oopsie-daisy on stage, giving an award.
Despite the devastating loss of Charlie Kirk, my incredible husband at UVU, Caleb has persisted with the same gift. Grit. It has been a long day. Trust me, you're not a grifter, honey. It's all good.
I am.
She didn't play off that moment very well, in my opinion.
No.
The way that grift came out of her mouth almost sounded too natural, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
That clip has 3.5 million views. So there you go. No one likes her. The boomers hate her. The youth hate her. Yeah.
Yeah. Not great.
Stop platforming her. Kind of meme photos came out of the strike on Venezuela because instead of using an actual war room, they just put up pipe and drape at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
And they have an X feed on the computer back behind them in the picture.
At one point you can see Reddit as well on screen. Just nothing but the
Groiper administration. Yep. Yeah. And here's a little clip from Fox News. Someone let it slip just who's benefiting from this Venezuela attack.
The implications here are really great for the Venezuelan people. 27.
Yeah, really great for the Israel. Yes, thank you, old man. I love it when the old people slip up like this.
Yeah. Oh, this is just another screenshot. Oh
yeah,
man, what a fucking joke! Look how sweaty Pete Hegseth is too.
Yeah, he's just trying to look tough in front of the boss man.
He's got the cocaine sweats.
Yeah, he does. Speaking of Reddit,
yeah. So here's something I actually found out amongst all this Epstein stuff is that Ghislaine Maxwell apparently was a bit of a powerful Reddit mod back in the day. While Jeffrey was jet setting around the world, doing his diddling thing, she was next to him on her phone, modding threads on Reddit.
Managing her karma.
Yeah. One of the most powerful...
19 years on Reddit.
Yeah, one of the most powerful Reddit accounts ever, Maxwell Hill, a longtime curator and moderator of World News, stopped posting the day Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested.
Yeah, and they got evidence for it in the next page. It's like, posts nearly every day for 14 years until Ghislaine Maxwell's arrest. The gaps in posting lines up with her mother's actual death. Posts about the age of consent, correcting it across various countries. Post articles about why we should legalize child exploitation material. Gripes about overzealous child protection laws. There's like little things people are picking up, like on her time zone, or just... Yeah, there's a list of things here is great. What's on the... the username Maxwell Hill may be a combination of her surname and the family home in the UK, Headington Hill Hall.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it seems to line up pretty well. Yeah, how funny is it that she could like just be on her phone doing
that
this
account's gonna live
while all this horrible stuff is happening around
that's
her.
exactly it.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this story. The University of Oklahoma confirms that Mel Kurth, the teaching assistant who gave a student a failing grade on a psychology essay, will no longer be teaching.
This was a whole last news story. Yeah. This article, oh my God, this has 31.5 million views.
Whoa.
So yes, there was an Oklahoma University student who was told to write an article about an essay, an opinion article on an essay, and cite her sources, whatever. And she just chose not to do the assignment.
Yeah,
and
it
just
was awful.
Wrote about how much she loved God instead, and how
Jabus.
God made gender. But it was bad, and so the teaching assistant happened to be trans, and so she marks it a 0. And 2 other teaching assistants also mark it a 0. And she's like, this is bad. I'm going to complain about it to Turning Point USA, and they're going to make me a national star. And they did, and they did. And as a result, the teaching assistant that's trans got fired. Not the other 2, just a trans one. Yeah. So Oklahoma University needs to get its accreditation revoked, because it's not a real institute for learning if, people can cry to the governor of the state that they got a 0 and have him make a statement and shit about it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
clown
statement. We're not going to read the whole thing, but yeah, it's pretty bullshit.
Yeah, I just summed it all up. The essay is terrible. Honestly, if you want to listen or read any part of the story, just read her essay.
Oh God,
it's terrible.
Yeah, I read a little bit of it, and yeah, it's bad.
I'm pretty sure the word minimum was 500 words, and she even turned it in at like 700. So she didn't even follow the word count.
Oh my God,
it's not even a 1,000-word essay, and she couldn't do it. Oh, and I will say one more thing about that university thing is it's not even her first year. I think she's at least a junior. Like, it's her second year at least. It's either her second or her third year.
She's gotten that far on
that
exactly. Crap? Wow. Anyway, here's a funny little nugget.
Yeah, I included this Trump clip because in Canada, we have a lot of issues regarding housing and pricing and the market being completely absurd up here. And there's reasons for that. But you're not really supposed to say those reasons out loud. So Trump just kind of does it here.
On housing, you talked in your address last night about housing.
Yeah.
Are you still considering a national emergency over housing?
I'm looking at it.
What would that look like? What would that mobilize?
You know, there's 2 thoughts on housing. You have a lot of people have housing that because we have such a strong time and such a strong market, their houses are very valuable. It's a big part of their net worth, their house. I don't want to knock those numbers down because I want them to continue to have a big value for their house. At the same time, I want to make it possible for young people out there and other people to buy housing. In a way, they're at conflict. In other words, you create a lot of housing all of a sudden, and it drives the housing prices down. So I want to take care of the people that have houses that have a value to the house that they never thought possible, that have sort of made them wealthy and happy, and especially in their later years. Got to be careful with that. I want to keep them up. At the same time, I want to make it possible for people to go buy houses.
Yeah, so he said they're in conflict. Yeah, they're obviously in conflict, but he said, I want to help the people with a home. That's what he said. I want to help the people with a home. That's what every government does. Every administration puts landowners, homeowners first. And you're not supposed to say it out loud, though.
No.
So thanks, Trump.
Well, he just has 0 filter, right?
Yeah. That would be such a big moment any other time, but...
Speaking, a lot of Freudian slips here.
Ending with a really big Freudian slip from Chip Roy, Republican in the House. It's a bit of a long clip.
And now we're sitting here and we're listening to nonsense about health care. or my colleagues on the other side of the aisle sit here saying, well, you guys aren't doing anything about the massive expensive cost of health care. Why do you think it's expensive? Because you literally cut a deal with insurance companies to run health care. You think that's going to run wild? Yeah. That's why they have 2,000% profit increases, and the American people can't afford to go to the doctor of their choice while we enrich insurance companies. And yet Republicans will complain about it, and then they'll offer milquetoast garbage like we're offering this week, and then go home at Christmas and say, look at what we're doing. We're campaigning on reducing health care. Well, congratulations. At some point, people will look at this body and say, maybe we should get rid of all 435 members of the House and all 100 members of the Senate and start over, because Congress is literally failing the American people. I yield back.
He might be a Republican, but he is really onto something there. He just kind of called out everything. He said it's all crap.
It's all garbage. It's all slop.
I don't have any
It's all right-wing trash.
or post for this, but I've started to see talking on both sides of the right and the left now, being like, what if there was free healthcare? What if everyone got healthcare? And I've seen very light rumblings on both sides of the aisle about it. I don't really have a firm, like there's no one in government really saying it yet, but there's like online, the discussion is kind of popping up again. It always comes up because it's the best and only solution, but yeah, so there you go. The U.S. spiral continues, and the right-wing meme trash is thus concluded.
Speaking of X, the Everything app,
whoa,
we watched Ty West's X trilogy, which includes X, Pearl, and Maxine. Yes, starring Mia Goth from the Frankenstein movie that just came out recently, which we were not big fans of. So we wanted to check out a little bit more of her work, and wow, she's actually a good actress.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
Yeah, this whole trilogy is like a showcase for how good Mia Goth is, because she was pretty damn good in every single film.
Yeah, and Ty West.
Ty West, yeah, he's a good
involved
filmmaker.
in every film.
Yeah, I remember seeing House of the Devil a couple years ago and liking that. The Innkeepers is another good movie of his that I've heard good things about that I have not seen yet, but it's definitely on my list. And yeah, this whole trilogy was really good. They were all like period pieces. Like one takes place in the 70s, another takes place in the 80s, one takes place like all the way back at the turn of the century.
Yeah.
And Mia Goth plays multiple different characters, some of which include old lady makeup, which is done really well, and she kind of fits the mannerisms really well. I don't want to give too much away because I highly recommend people check these out. Yeah. These are nice little exploitation film throwbacks.
There's 3 films. That's the order that they came out, is the order you read them off. X, Pearl, and Maxine. And that's the order that I would recommend people watch them.
Yes.
And that's also the order that I enjoyed them. So
yes. Pearl is a prequel, but I would not recommend watching it first.
No.
I think I wouldn't have liked it as much if I'd watched it first. I think knowing the context of X going in definitely helps a lot, especially because that movie's a bit more of a slow burn compared to the other two. It definitely, like, knowing what goes on later on in the series definitely helps, keeping you invested.
Yeah.
And, Maxine, the last film in the trilogy, takes place in the 80s, which, I love my 80s nostalgia. I'm getting a little tired of it now because of Stranger Things and stuff, but you can tell Ty West really genuinely likes the 80s. He makes references to actual obscure 80s stuff like Lizzie Borden.
Me against the world, against the world. It's me against the world, against the world.
And Rat.
Lay it down, lay it down, lay it down, lay it down.
He plays a Frankie Goes to Hollywood song, but it's not Relax. It's Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. Minute epic song they did. So he knows his 80s.
Yeah, you were just pleased as
trivia.
punch to hear
I
that.
was very pleased. Oh, yes.
Yes, good movies. The first 2, X and Pearl, were on our Canadian Netflix. The other one was on Paramount. So
yeah,
find them where you find them or rent them from the library, but check them out.
Yeah, you might have to do a little bit of digging to find all 3 because they're not in the same streaming place, unfortunately.
Sucks.
Stupid.
I've never loved anyone the way I love you.
Me too. Now we know how.
Miles away.
Her. This is a movie that's been on my back burner for a while.
Yes, 2013's Her.
Yeah. A nerd falls in love with a computer and shenanigans ensue. Starring Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson as the voice of the AI, which apparently was so influential that they used ScarJo's voice as like a model for future AI voices, is what you were telling me?
Yep. Yep. They really, really loved her in this movie. Yeah. Every AI model that's come after has basically been based on this one, and so much so that ScarJo has even taken them to court for basically stealing her voice at points.
Oh my God. Wow.
I also want to say that the poster, it's funny that it's Joaquin Phoenix and then 4 women. And like, we know that there's other famous men in this movie, but they don't even make the poster.
No.
So that's funny. But yeah, I liked it. It felt a little ahead of its time.
Yeah. I like the setting is like, it's futuristic, but it's not too far in the future.
No,
it's like
not
realistically
that
a
far.
couple of years ahead. So it's basically the reality that we live in now from when it was made, basically.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see what they got right and what they got kind of off the mark, you know? Certain,
I think it was mostly right.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing with setting it not too far in the future, is that your predictions will probably be more accurate. It was a little long. It's, as the older I get, the less tolerant I am of long movies.
Yeah, it was a little on the long side.
Let's get more hour 10, hour 15 minute movies. Come on, in and out. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, Joaquin was acting his pants off.
Yeah, he was good. He was great.
Amy Adams was good too.
Yeah, just a good little drama film with some haunting overtones to it. Some haunting, what's the word? Implications.
Yeah, the implications in Her.
Definitely. They've definitely played out in real life more than we'd like to admit.
I got makeup on my butt, dude.
It is bold. I like it. DreamWorks Over the Hedge.
Lastly, we got a funny cartoon critter movie, Over the Hedge. Bit of a nostalgia trip because, I was a little kid when this came out.
Yeah, I
remember
love this movie.
I remember watching it in middle school. You got Bruce Willis as a cute cartoon raccoon trying to scam a bunch of other critters into getting some food so we can feed his maniacal, psychotic bear friend before he gets eaten. Yay.
Yeah.
We get to see the animals run amok through suburbia, hijinks ensue. What can I say? If you like cartoon animals like we do, you can't go wrong.
It's a DreamWorks classic.
Yeah, it's great.
Yep. Love Over the Hedge. I got nothing bad to say about it. I don't really have anything to add.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like the jokes in this
I remember
movie.
as a kid seeing like posters for this. This was one of the first films I noticed the like enormous number of celebrity names at the top of the poster.
yeah.
This is the first time I really noticed that was for this movie. And every character really gets a fun bit to play.
Yeah.
And that's great when you have an ensemble cast like this.
We got Avril Lavigne in the cast playing William Shatner's daughter, which is awesome. They both play the
a lot of Canadians in this movie, actually.
Oh, yeah.
William Shatner, Avril Lavigne, Catherine O'Hara.
I didn't know she was Canadian. Eugene Levy as well. Yeah.
No, that's 4 Canadians.
Yeah, fantastic. I forgot Nick Nolte voiced the bear. That's funny.
So, yeah. I knew that.
Patriot. I remember him from Tropic Thunder. So, yeah.
Was that all the movies?
I mean, that's all the most recent ones. We've watched a lot more since the last episode, but I don't want to go over all of them.
We have to go over every single
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm getting the list right now.
No, I gotta go pee.
Yeah.
So that's the conclusion of our next Woke in the West episode.
Chud?
Chud. Cannibalistic, humanoid, underground dwellers.
Oh yeah, Chud. We watched Chud. It fucking sucked. And the effects were bad, and they took way too long to show the creature. John Goodman shows up, which is cool.
Yeah, random John Goodman.
But he doesn't do anything to save the plot.
He didn't do any good, man.
No, Chud sucks. Chud sucks my chode.
Rip Chud.
Sucks a fat chode.
So, I don't know when this episode will come out. Probably towards mid-January. It is the 5th right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we want to go so far as to make any 2026 predictions, but given how it's been not even a week in, I can say that, World War III doesn't seem impossible at this point.
It's a doozy. Yeah.
I guess we'll have to stay tuned. That the year is young. Much can go on.
We shall see.
Stay vigilant. Pay attention. Organize.
Yep. Only time will tell.
Get involved.
Yep.
There's
Be
probably
safe out
elections
there.
in your area this year, so
Yep.
be ready. And,
Definitely.
Yeah, put yourself out there if you want.
Pay attention to those midterms.
Yes, everyone vote, please.
Yeah. We'll be sure to cover all that stuff.
Go vote and protest. Venezuela, like sovereignty, like this is the test. We need to get our politicians to condemn this illegal terroristic action from the American administration. And that's just, it has to be. No ground. No, don't give up anything.
It must be done.
Condemn, condemn, condemn. Bye.
Bye.